When is a mix really finished? And how does our mental state affect our work as creatives? Let's talk about it. Xander Blake would like to know, hi Xander, how do you know when to stop experimenting with a mix and start focusing on finalizing it? This is when your bass drum hits hard. Then you can start with the mix.
If the client tries to call me for the 4th time because he needs the mix tomorrow, I think then it's already almost too late.
There is this meme with like a skeleton sitting in front of a mixing desk, and the mix is still not finished.
Okay, yeah. When do you know when you should finalize it? Yeah, I would just say that when I have exhausted every technical thing I can do to the mix to make it feel good without automating, without all the crazy effects, without the whatever phasey automation thing you do before the last chorus. I mean, when it sounds like a band that plays on the same volume all the way through, but it sounds nice. Maybe I would put it that kind of way. Yeah, then I would know, okay, now I need to do some, like, the final lifting of things. And in a way, I would say there's not really a lot of fiddling around when I'm mixing, because there's like specific things, or just things when I listen to the rough mix or listen to the song for the very first time that jump at me, where I'm like, okay, I want to make like this is important, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Like the big lifting things, like, okay, the bass has a problem here, the kick drum needs maybe a sample because it doesn't work, like those kind of things. Then you do those things, and then maybe also I have this like creative idea of, ooh, I could do like this cool automation before the last chorus. I have an effect in mind. I will try this. But I would say in 99% of cases when I mix something, that's the way it goes. It's like problem solving, static mix, maybe a cool idea for something or 2 cool ideas. Do automation, see that you can listen through and nothing bothers you, and yeah, that's it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Basic similar approach. It's there is one certain point where I start writing automation. Maybe that's due to how Pro Tools works. So I have automation suspended for the most of the time.
Yes.
So that I can work on the static mix, and when I touch faders, that I can move them without them wanting to jump back to whatever has been written in. I usually start with instrument groups working in detail. Maybe all the tracks are open, or most of the tracks are open, and I craft the drums, the bass, the guitars, the whatever, the synths, the vocals, everything, until it just feels nice. I listen to my stomach. When my stomach tells me, I can listen to it without, of course, I need the chorus to lift up a little bit. I need the bass drum to be a little bit softer in the verses, stuff like this. But this is for automation. So sometimes I put markers, like, so I have an idea so that I don't forget what I wanted to do, but it's not time yet to do it. Then I put a marker, don't forget to automate this delay throw or whatever. But then, just get a balance of the mix with effects and volumes and all the glory that you can listen to the song through.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to listen to. And then is the point to say, okay, start adding all the ear candy on the automation, the finesse. It's like building a cabinet. It's like it's there, and then you start like working on chamfering corners and putting nice details and putting varnish on top. And maybe if the question was aimed at when do I know when the mix is finished, this is exactly the same for me. When my stomach tells me I can do it. Usually I start from the top, I listen, and then there's something, I I don't ignore it, but I memorize it, and then when the next thing comes, I stop, fix those two things, start from the top again until I can listen to the first section of the song completely. Let's say you have like a first verse. When I can listen to the song until the first verse stops, for example, then I know, okay, this is gone, and then I do the same process starting from there, second verse or first chorus or whatever it is, and then I go from the top again, listen to those two combined and see if it still feels nice or if I need some more adjustments. If this feels nice, then I start from the third section, do the same process, start from the top again, and this is like back and forth, but you are like progressing like in a zigzag way up to the finished thing until it's like, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Don't forget to consult your stomach.
Yeah. I would a little thing I would like to add is I try if there's the luxury of time, I try to listen to a song fresh. So I don't make my final judgment when I just worked on it for an hour. But when it
or
could,
8 hours,
or 8 hours, it could just be you had a break of an hour or two, or even better, the next morning. I press play, and the best thing is when you don't. Sometimes it's good when you forget things. In a sense, if you can't remember what the last fancy things were that you did, if you can't remember those, and you just listen, because then you listen like a consumer, just a listener. So to put what Patrick said just in other words, I would say if I can listen to the song, and by the end I feel like, wow, I didn't even listen to the mix. So, there wasn't a mix thing I stumbled. It was like the things I stumbled over was like, goosebumps, or, this solo is great. And not, why is this like, scratching cymbal noise or something? Because then you're listening to the mix. So, yeah. That's my
when you are able to listen to the song as anybody else except you would listen to it, then you're done.
Yeah.
I think we covered
anything.
Yeah. If there's anything left, let us know and we will go more in depth.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Question from Casper Music. Hey.
Hi, Casper Music.
Hey guys, bit of a long one. Okay. I noticed that my personal well-being and the way I see the world and my place within it greatly affects the way I handle or do things. I guess that's a quite normal thing. Yeah, I guess so. My question to you is, how much does your personal identity or worldview influence your approach to production and your work? Were there any bigger shifts in your personal life regarding your general attitude or beliefs that would then also change the way you worked, or that would inform your decision-making process when working? Thank you.
Oof, that's deep.
This is long and deep.
That's deep.
I find it interesting.
I have never even thought about this before, so I will have to consult my gray cells for a second.
Yeah, the depths of the brain.
Yes. One thing that comes to my mind is if I'm feeling healthy, so I don't have the flu or whatever, and I'm generally happy, and I'm generally not too much stressed, then that's a good starting point to start working on something, because mixing is or recording or working with music, it uses so many different parts of your brain. There have been like brain measurements, electroencephalograms or whatever, where they checked that if you science, well, so take it with a grain of salt, but if you like solve mathematical equations, this part of the brain is used. If you do something else, this part of the brain is used. And if you're working with music or play an instrument, then all kinds of areas of your brain are in use. So although you're just sitting on your dumb earth,
does it mean I'm smart?
No, that doesn't mean that it cannot be really exhausting to work on something. So if you feel like fresh in your brain and fresh physically, then I can assume that this affects the way you work on the music. If you
Yeah.
feel stressed and insecure and doubting everything, maybe you take worse decisions. You fall more into the imposter syndrome problem that we covered a couple times already. So being relaxed or being generally happy and
Yeah.
although you could argue that some people need some kind of, in a creative process, like creative depression. I know people who write their best stuff when they are like in a low.
Yeah, when they have like, good example would be if you think about like early 2000s new metal, like it's all very depressing, anxiety driven music. I think if those people at the time, like the Limp Bizkits and the Korns, at that point they were probably in their 20s and probably just pissed off by, a lot of things. Before they had the fame, and that is that drives is a driving force in creativity. I thought of something else, but if you.
But if we now focus a little bit on the work we are doing here, like we are sitting at the mixing desk or the computer with our mouse and faders and stuff, I don't think that being sad or depressed or like concentrating on problems that are outside of what you are actually supposed to do is of real big help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being healthy, go to the gym, exercise, be in good shape, eat good food, sleep enough, try to be in a good balance mentally. I think that is a good thing to be at work doing very concentrated work for hours and hours and focusing on so many little details. If you somehow can try be like in a good like a car that is washed and waxed and has a fresh oil change, and this is going to run smoother than if it's like beaten up.
Yeah, totally. I was also thinking that one part which you described with like the different parts of the brain is like, I feel when I'm mixing, for example, a lot of this, and we talked about this before, a lot of this, it has to do with a sensitivity for things, for like very tiny details. And for those kind of things, I feel like I need to be in a very good shape, also physically, because I just thought I was sick like before recording today. I'm all right. It's all good. No, but and at a point where I would say I was healthy enough again to sit at a table, I tried to work some stuff, but I couldn't, because
I know what you mean.
There was just a lack of this calmness and being able to stare at something and be like zen with yourself, because you're still like coughing a little bit, and you're just like there's it's not calm. You
need all your energy to do this.
It really takes a lot of energy for those kind of things, because I feel like when I'm a little sick, you can still like, I don't know, do the dishes. It sucks, but it's kind of like, whatever, you do it. But if you have to listen to this shiny reverb tail of this one syllable, it's just like, oh god, it's like, no. That's one thing. There was another thing that came to my mind regarding this question. I thought in maybe a bigger scale, talking about like shifts in your life and moods that you go through, or like in the question there was something about the like world view. Mm-hmm. I just thought about, and maybe that triggers something in you as well, I don't know. I would say that the younger I was, maybe when I was 20 or 16 or whatever, there was more of this young rebellic revoluzer kind of thing. So I think there was more urgency for me to fiddle around with everything and go into every detail. And I think in the personal life and also then in the work, there's maybe this parallel of seeing more what is really important and stuff that is not so important. Mm-hmm. Like that was something that maybe kind of goes into the direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I could jump into my 20-year-old self and I would maybe get the same mix on the table that I do today, aside from you just getting better. But you know what I mean? The view of, now let's work on this, on like a right cymbal track that's going to be at minus 18 dB.
You don't know your priorities yet.
Yeah.
But I was thinking also about one thing is, I have sometimes artists that have a very strong vision of their music. That they, for example, now I have like a project. It's black metal project, and it's supposed to be very dark, very unfriendly, very cold, and very repellent. If that's a right word, but like, and there is a whole concept about this, and they would love me to know about all this concept, to mix something that is, although well crafted, but it has to be ugly.
Yeah.
It has to be it has to be
not pretty.
Not pretty. It has to be like it has to have an attitude, and I think it can help to think a little bit like an actor,
go into that role or mindset.
To just go into a mindset and feel, try to see if it triggers anger in you when you're mixing something brutal, or if it can put you in it, just any kind of emotion that is required by the artist, by the vision of the artist.
That's actually a good point.
I think I would as a finalizing thought, I would say, I think you have to split up two situations: the artistic, creative, from a blank page to something thing, and everything is there, and you have a job that has to be done.
Good point, yeah.
What we have to do is get the idea of the artist and be able to do what has to be done and focus on this and blur out everything which does not have to do anything with the task that has to be done. On the other hand, when you are in a creative process, every influence is welcome, because art is a form of, it's expressing what is going on in your inner self, and everything that happens to you, and everything that comes to your mind, and every emotion and every experience can have a place in art. So maybe and since I'm mostly working in the arty thing is done,
yeah.
I'm more like I help artists
finalizing, translating
and capturing the thing, and they're the only emotion or the only state of mind that should have place there is, what is the story of the music, and do I need to think about this and try to create a certain atmosphere or not? Yeah, I think we have everything there.
Well,
that was a really good question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's it.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.